Hey all, welcome to Moogle Squad. It's me, your favorite Raven, once again. And this time I come bringing some bad news. Not actually, but this time I'm here to do a review on a game that is based around one of my very favorite franchises in the world. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of great words to say about it. Uh, that in mind, this is Star Wars Battlefront. In this case, the deluxe edition. Uh, but you're going to hear plenty about that. One way to describe this: Call of Duty with lasers. Yeah, no, that's kind of it. Um, Essentially, a game that brought the hype up of the fandom, the Star Wars fandom, because it's a fandom. Um, it brought it up for, because the last game that came out for Star Wars, minus the Lego games and minus the MMO, Star Wars: The Old Republic. Great game, by the way. Not for me personally, but for my friends, very good. They've loved it. I've seen a lot of great work come out of that, but that's another time, another topic, and another discussion. But the last game that came out from the Star Wars franchise was back in 2010, which is The Force Unleashed 2. Great game, absolutely wonderful. This, not quite so much. Um, yeah, so basically, these points kind of are much like a Call of Duty game. Very scatterbrained, very 5 in the morning ish, and very, just bare, blunt, and straight to the point. There's not a whole lot of dancing around a lot of this. First off, it's also kind of Destiny in a way. Uh, grind. Grind a lot. You're going to be grinding for credits. If you don't know what credits are and you're a Star Wars fan, shame on you. Essentially, it's money. You could just be saying, "Oh, I'm flinging my dollars around." Yeah, that's another topic I'll cover. Yeah, you're going to be grinding for credits because you're going to want new weapons. You're going to want, new character customization bits for items and such. Uh, yeah, essentially, you're going to be grinding a lot for the neato cool perks that you're going to get. Everybody, if you're playing a rebel, please be a Twi'lek. It's so much nicer to look at than the really ugly, ugly ass fucking faces that they decided to pick out. There is like two faces that are anything good to look at in either the Empire or, the Rebellion that are fine to look at. Both are females, both are blonde, and both are the same one. Yeah, it's either I guess they're not really the same, but they're the same face model, but with different hairstyle. Ponytail or kind of a short-ish cut. Essentially, it's pick a face, any face. You only get 9 and some facial hair. Yeah, no, that's essentially it. No, you think I'm kidding? I'm not. Character customization. The character customization, not really a thing. It's a thing, but to a very limited degree. You get special character selection things that you can unlock, like I said, for a lot of credits and leveling up. You actually have levels that you can get to. Ranks, quote unquote, that you're going to be doing a lot of grinding for. Back to that again, grinding. But the specialties are for the Empire. You can either be a scout trooper or a shadow trooper, or slash dark trooper. Um, they're nice looking. I don't think they have any practical differences beyond looking cooler. I think that's pretty much every character customization bit. For the Rebellion, you have a variety of multiple alien species, including a Rhodian, a Twi'lek, and a couple others. Be the Twi'lek. Just please be the Twi'lek. She's hot. Or I'm pretty sure it's a she anyway. I'm sorry. It looks very she-ish. But yeah, no. Pick a face, any face. You only get 9 and a couple other ones that don't really matter. It really doesn't matter. Also, emotes. What? Is this Destiny? Seriously, is this Destiny? Are we? No, I literally, in almost any match I go into, one person might use an emote. Everybody else here is actually trying to fight. If you're fucking around with emotes, get the fuck off. Get the fuck off. If that's literally all you came to do, get the fuck off. Ugh. Yeah, this isn't Destiny. Please. Go. Not to bag on Destiny too much, because that's already had plenty of that. But, seriously, this is for fighting. This is not Destiny 2.0. EA, talking to you. Another point. DLC. What DLC? Yeah, no, it's been November was the release of this game. When's our DLC coming? Please put an infographic here that says in March. Please. Yeah. It's the first one's in March. The next one, several months later. Months later after that for the third one. The last one comes right around the release of the next movie. Not Rogue One, but Episode 8. Although I'm excited for Rogue One. That's a different story. Season Pass, $50. $50 my ass! That's $50. You kidding me? I'm not buying the game again, essentially. This is Destiny! Yeah. Seriously, I'm just gonna wait. I didn't buy the season pass, and it's looking like a good idea right now. I'm just gonna wait and buy what I want, if there's anything I even want. So I would suggest you do that too. I actually bought the whole PS4 that came out, the special edition PS4 that came out, which came with the deluxe edition of the game. So I got all the neato little fast track items that you get, which are like a couple little equip items that you can have. Like when you create a class on Call of Duty, you get to pick certain items that you start with for your class. Yeah, it's essentially the same thing. Not much of a difference, and not really too much more practical effect. Yeah, that leads into weapons. Blasters, you get a shitty version, or you can grind and get a less shitty version. That's not cool. I mean, the most interesting ones are either the blasters where you essentially, if you can snipe, you will get essentially a one hit on. Or you have the laser machine guns, essentially. The blaster machine guns, which just go and you hit something 1,000 times and it still doesn't die. Not cool. But it looks pretty. It looks very pretty. The level. There's a lot of levels. A lot of different scenarios you can run with. The one that you probably played, essentially, if you played the beta like I did, was Drop Zone. You go after escape pods that have crash landed, and you try and secure them. It's basically capture the flag, except you're not running around and it's more like King of the Hill, I should say. You essentially you take it, you capture it, and you either get it or you die. No, that's essentially it. I played enough of that in the fucking beta. I'm not playing it again. If you like it, please play it. But I'm done playing that. I'm seriously not playing it. The hero versus villain stuff. You get to play with heroes, which is nice. Instead of just, either being randomly picked or, in the case of the fighter one, the essentially dogfight mode, battles that you can play. You pick up a power-up. There's one guy, every time goes right for it because they know where it is, and they're stuck for that like half the match until some motherfucker finally kills them, and then someone else gets it, and it might exactly be that very same person because they're an asshole. But the heroes, they have an interesting selection. Boba Fett. That's all I got to say. Boba fucking Fett. Be him. Boba Fett, motherfucker. Are you him? No? Fuck you. Specifically, his rifle. His rifle is badass, and you can actually get it for your character if you grind all the way through a lot of shit. It's so worth it, though. It's the EE3, and it looks almost exactly like what it is in the movies. It's so nice. It has a very nice power ratio, and it's pretty quick. I believe it's a like a 3-shot, like not a combination shot, but a burst, 3-round burst. There we go. 5 a.m. I swear to God, words. I know them, but I can't say them. Yeah. Moving on to single player. Training. PvP with your friends. What friends? Or die. The die part is the survival mode. You get to, essentially any other survival mode will tell you the exact same thing. You try and prolong how long it is before you die. No, literally, that's it. You get a range of, enemies that obviously advance in difficulty, numbers of them, and you get, little graces like you can get an item or you can get an extra life, things like that. Much better to play with friends, but it's still a bitch. And you do die eventually. Because I haven't seen anyone that I know of manage to last until the game says, "No, we're done." But yeah. That said, single player. What single player? No, seriously, that was one of the biggest letdowns for this game. The lack of a single player. At least back in Battlefront 2, the interesting point of the game beyond just fighting and such was that there was a story behind it. There was a campaign mode behind it. And, that followed the events, obviously, of Episode 3, which was really nice. I absolutely loved how they did that. The voiceover work was beautiful. It's the story, actually, in and of itself, tugged at my heartstrings, even though I knew the plot. It was still really nice to see, and it was really well done. And I have to thank Tamara Morrison, who did the voiceover for that. Absolutely great work. And they picked scenes very well from the movie to include the different planets you went to. But beyond that, this game has almost none of that. Outside of, oh, yay, I can blast my friend. Whoopee. During the installation time, one really nice point about it. During the installation time, once you progress past a certain point, obviously, you can actually kind of play the game. Because it has essentially an event that just kind of goes. You play as Darth Vader on Hoth during the Rebel evacuation. And you go around with a legion of stormtroopers, and you have Darth Vader's fucking force powers at your command to fucking kick Rebel ass. That's fun. Yeah, it gets a little boring after a while, and it obviously depends on how well your net works, how quickly you get it installed and such. Unless you have a physical disk, which, that's just how fast the thing processes it. But that said, it's still a fun little time waster, and I think you actually can go back to that, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't done it myself, considering I've been toying around on a lot of other games. But that said, if you don't have net, fuck off. No, seriously, there is almost nothing to do with this game except the training mode and survival. And if you have a person that your system linked with, you can PvP. That's it. There is no multiplayer. There's no fun anything. You can't even access your own custom character. The fuck? I don't know. I wanted to love this game. I really wanted to love this game. I did. It's been 5 years since I had a decent Star Wars game that wasn't an MMO. This is what I got. I didn't like it. I bought it mainly because I bought the new PS4 to go with it. PS4 looks great, by the way. It's got Darth Vader on it. You get a nice custom controller. Looks very cool. And with that, you actually get this is totally a plug to buy it just for the old games. You actually get a couple old games with it, including Star Wars Bounty Hunter, Star Wars Pod Racer Revenge, Star Wars Jedi Starfighter. You actually get a couple good old classic games, including Super Star Wars. That's a classic. That in and of itself is almost worth buying the console, and especially considering the fact I wanted a new PS4. So there was my reason to buy it. Not to mention I wanted the game. The game essentially came free at that point. But in and of itself, buying the game, I just cannot recommend buying it at full $60 buy new price. It's not worth it. It just isn't. I would wait unless you can get a used copy for, I'd say, less than $30 if you can. Buy it from a friend, or wait till it goes on sale or something. Do not pick this game up for full price. You are going to be disappointed unless the DLC turns out to bring some great stuff. Really great stuff. That said, I think that's all I have time for. So until next time, this has been Raven, this has been Moogle Squad, and as always, have a nice day.